Hey Guru Nation, thank you so much for watching. So, one of my sponsors at Nato, I'm here on their website. I actually haven't logged in a few months because if you've been following the vlog, you know I've been training new staff, onboarding new staff, and I've been in the weeds, like doing the assessments, entering the data, answering queries. I think I finally got the two new staff members, Lana and Grecia, up to speed. So that means I could go out and look for more studies. And one of the things I've been doing, I'm a client of my company DSCS, so I've been getting the weekly leads and just messaging the sponsors on LinkedIn, specifically the key decision makers that we believe are involved with that study. LinkedIn, to me, this is why LinkedIn Premium is worth it, in my opinion. And then when they don't have a LinkedIn profile, an email will work. For the studies that I think I'm interested in, and the reason why I like using the service we offer, is you can get in there on a new therapeutic area, one that you don't necessarily have expertise, but one that you have the patience for. And actually, I'm reading a LinkedIn post right now from Stephanie Palmer from Creo. That's another sponsor of ours. She says, clinical research community, if you had access to a new site inside the indigenous community, wouldn't you be willing to accept a research naive investigator? How exactly does one increase diversity if we are not willing to let new PIs in the door? Asking for a site owner friend struggling. So one of the things I would tell your friend, and just to speak on this a little bit, so diversity is huge in this industry. I think everyone agrees it's needed. One of the reasons we started Latinos in clinical research is to increase Hispanic participation in studies, specifically vis-a-vis more Latino coordinators or PIs entering the workforce. Now, there's something to be said about research naive and sponsors not willing to give a chance. It's a lot harder. It's not as easy as what I'm about to show you in another sponsor of ours, Inato, which you can see here real quick, and I'll show when I'm going through it, the actual screenshots, because I think Inato's got an excellent product that's, by the way, free, but you do need some experience on the indications you get. So I think a lot of site owners need to be strategic when it comes to their business development efforts. This is why I think Save Our Sites conference is a must. This is why I think being a DSCS client is a must. And this is why I also think being on Inato is a must. And even LinkedIn Premium is a must. You can't just go to one place and get all your studies, especially when you're newer. When you're more experienced, yes, you can just kick back on Inato and find trials from Inato once you're experienced. Although most of the sponsors I see, and you're going to see as we're going through the screenshots, are Big Pharma, which is, by the way, it's excellent because Big Pharma are the toughest sponsors to get studies from when you're new. But once you're on there, once you have, let's just take one study as an example, atopic dermatitis. This is actually something my site does a lot of. So if you have zero atopic dermatitis experience, even if you have a board certified PI with research naive patients in a diverse community like Yuma, you're probably not getting your first study from Sanofi Aventis or from Eli Lilly. You're gonna get your first study from, more likely than not, a small biotech company you never heard of. There's no way to find out who those companies are unless you go to clinicaltrials.gov and scour that website, or you join a service like myself and Chris's, where the DSCS monthly services, I'm a member of it myself. I'm not only the founder, co-founder, I'm the member as well. And then it maps out who you need to talk to from those companies, whether it's email, whether it's the ct.gov link, just so you can see more about the study, or the LinkedIn, or the website, or all of the above to get yourself educated on it and pitch yourself properly to that biotech. Because even the biotechs, it's not like they want research naive, but your best bet is a smaller company in those cases when you have zero experience in a therapeutic area. So to piggyback to what Stephanie said at Creo, her friend's best bet is actually probably not the big pharma. They don't want to work with you until you have experience. For the most part, you can get lucky sometimes. It's finding those needle in the haystack biotechs that are willing to take a chance, because remember, small is the new big. The smaller sponsors, they have to compete in the same space with the big Eli Lillys and the Sanofis and the Amgens. So sometimes their competitive advantage could be, we're willing to take a chance on a research naive PI. Maybe they have an experienced coordinator. Maybe they have so many research naive participants in such a diverse community that we're willing to work with them. And that's our competitive advantage, ours being the small biotech. Now, once you get even that first study, let's say it's atopic derm, not only will it be easier to get more atopic derm studies, it'll be easier to get more dermatology studies in general, because you have therapeutic area expertise, maybe not disease specific other than one atopic derm, but that's when you can go also to a place like Inato. And now you can find, as you can see here, a bunch of atopic dermatitis studies and a bunch of other studies. So I'm just using atopic derm as an example. You can do this for depression, you can do this for lupus, schizophrenia, whatever the case may be. So it's not easy. It's never gonna be easy. If you're a site owner, you actually don't want it to be easy, especially if you're a newer site. The fact that it's not easy is your competitive advantage, that you're willing to outwork the other investigators out there that also think, oh, research is a great idea, but then they don't end up doing anything about it. Or if you're a site owner, or a potential site owner, oh, it'd be so cool to open a site in Yuma, Arizona, but then never end up doing anything about it, because every single PI that you're going to meet in Yuma, Arizona is research naive. Until I came out here and made them not research naive. So that's hard work. And that's your competitive advantage. That's your moat. So you got to combine services like DSCS. You got to combine services like Inato. You've got to look at LinkedIn Premium and figure out, should I be using this or not? And slowly, brick by brick, therapeutic area by therapeutic area, build up your expertise. There is no one-stop shop. It is not as easy as some magical algorithm in the sky telling you, Dan Sfera in Yuma, Arizona, with these PIs are magically granted these studies. It's never going to work that way, because sponsors love diversity, but they are so risk averse. I would say big pharma, maybe this is the quotable from this video, big pharma is so risk averse that force is greater than their force for a desire for diversity in their trials. Maybe somebody out there can make that a better quote, but they're so risk averse, especially the big pharma. They're so risk averse because this is such a highly regulated industry and there's a lot of money at stake, that their fear of something bad happening outweighs the potential opportunities of working with a research naive physician in a diverse community. And your job as a site owner and an entrepreneur is to close that gap. And you're going to close it by being strategic about the companies you work with, hopefully DSCS, hopefully Inato, and your willingness to go out there and sell yourself and go to conferences and do all the stuff you've got to do to get your first couple of studies. Guarantee you, if you do that, you are in the 90th percentile of investigators, of physicians out there that wish they can do research or think it's a good idea to do research, but don't actually do research. Because again, look at this screenshot from Inato. Study after study, big pharma after big pharma. But they don't just magically fall out of the sky. You gotta get your experience the old school way, through networking, through small biotechs, and then work your way up to the big pharma. Again, some people just get lucky and straight off the bat get their first study with a big pharma. It's possible. But the chances of that happening as your first study is slim. So hopefully you follow my advice. Hopefully there's more of you out there that are coming to Save Our Sites conference. Hopefully there's more of you out there willing to, if not join my service or join Inato for free, at least do the hard work yourself. Map out the biotechs. Go on clinicaltrials.gov. Figure out who the key decision makers are on LinkedIn and get to work. That's all it is. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Bye-bye.